Hello, friends. Welcome back to Homeschool Together. Thank you for joining us. We are back from Mexico. We're studying the Day of the Dead.
Not for reals, but
for reals.
we wish.
Our friends are in Mexico right
They've
now.
been sending us pictures the whole time. They've been here. Oh, they've been in Mexico while the Day of the Dead's been going on,
That was
and they've
really
been
cool.
Yeah, they've been sending us the most amazing photos and videos. So it's been really fun to study this while having friends there and feel like we're a part of that as well. It's been a great 2 weeks.
So let's kick it off with some books. The Folk Costumes of the World. This is a book. We had a festival, a Halloween festival. We aligned our Mexico celebration around Halloween. So if you're watching this and you're like, it's not Halloween anymore.
Yes.
We pre-record, so we were a little ahead. My daughter actually checked out this book from the library about folk costumes, and it happened to have a whole section about Mexico and some of the traditional wares and everything. And it was actually a really cool little book. I didn't expect it. She checked it out and she says, Dad, there's stuff from Mexico in here. I go, really? And she's like, brr. She finds right to the page. It was really cool. It was a nice little write-up. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, so if you can find this or something like it at your library, this has all the different countries of the world and all the folk costumes and what goes into making those costumes, why they were special, the materials that they were made of, why that was chosen, the colors and the different symbolism. So something like this is an older book, but definitely really it captured our daughter's attention from the fashion side of it.
It was actually kind of, because she enjoys clothing. She's in the sewing class. She really likes the idea of like making clothes and the colorful, fun clothes for her just leapt out to her. So if you could find something about costumes, I think that would be great. Lucia, the Luchador.
Yeah, I love this book. This is such a sweet book. It's about a little girl who wants to be a luchadora, right, which is the Mexican wrestler, and it's
masked
right, and she ends up saving somebody else from a bullying situation, and so it's all about standing up for other kids and being inclusive and playing with other kids and just doing the right thing. It's got all kinds of great messages, great artwork, as you can see, and it's one of our daughter's favorites. So if you have a little girl especially, I think this one applies both ways because it's got kind of a superhero element, but also it's got a real girl power thing. So I know our girls really loved it.
It's funny when we brought it out, our oldest still remembered this book from the previous
3 years ago.
3 years ago from around the world. She goes, "Oh, Lucia Luchador, don't read that without me." And so it was pretty
made
cool.
an impression, I guess.
And our youngest, I think it made the exact same impression. So it was very
this
good.
is a really good one. If you only get one book, I think this is a great option.
The Princess and the Warrior.
So this is from a Mexican author, and he's done a couple of them. Duncan Tonatiuh.
Tonatiuh.
I'm probably mispronouncing that. I apologize. These are often folk stories. He writes a bunch of different ones. Dear Primo is a good one that I think they recommended Build Your Library. They didn't have that one at our library this time, but that's a great book. This is a story about a warrior falling in love with a princess. It's a little bit of Romeo and Juliet-ish, but it doesn't end quite so bad. Well, kind of. But they end up becoming mountains together forever kind of thing. So it's just a folk story, but it's got really good good artwork, and our girls really enjoyed it. So if you're looking for some folk stories that have lots of pictures, because I think Build Your Library recommends Tales Our Abuelitas Told, which our kids and our family just didn't really get into very much. So if you're looking for folk tales, but you want more visuals, I think something like this is a great option.
So same author, I believe, same artwork. Danza.
This is cool. This is about the Mexican folkloric ballet. And it's a dance company that does all kinds of traditional dances, and they perform all over the world. And what's really great about this book, what I love about it so much, is that you can find YouTube videos of them dancing. So there's lots of media to support this book. So if you want to pair kind of book and media, then Danza is a great option for that. And especially our girls love dance. They're really into it. So this was just a huge hit with them to be able to read about this story about them bringing their indigenous dances and continuing and keeping them alive, which I think is great. And then you get to watch the videos.
But also blending with traditional styles of ballet. It's kind of a biography about the woman who started it and how she was classically trained, and then she made this decision to bring in the folk dancing, and that kind of revolutionized it and changed it and made it really interesting for people. So it was a great blending of like classic culture and like a different culture together and making something new and wonderful. So
right, yeah. So
totally cool.
Anyway, great book. This one's really, really good.
That fusion dance culture cuisine.
Yes.
What can you do with a paleta?
This is about the the popsicle, a paleta.
It's almost like a
It's like
fruit.
a creamsicle.
It's like a creamsicle fruit popsicle. Yes.
Yeah, it's just a really fun one. We have a local Mexican snack store in our town, and they have paletas there. So this is a fun one to read about. This is kind of a second tier book. I wouldn't say this would be a primary.
This one feels very much for like a way down kindergarten level. This is like if you have a kindergartner, this is more of like a picture book for them. It would not work well for, and I don't even think I read this to my third grader. I think I just read it to my kindergarten. So this is more of a simpler book.
Yeah, much simpler. So this one and Lucia the Luchadora are the kind of the simpler. The other one, Danza and the Princess and the Warrior, maybe a little bit more advanced.
Yep,
as far as picture books go.
Cactus soup, and this is like the whole like genre of
Right.
soup books.
The stone soup is
Stone
what it
soup
really
is another
started
one.
with, right?
Yeah, so this one's basically a story about this army coming to town, and the town is trying to hide all their food and all the wares that they don't want the soldiers to eat and take everything. And so what happens is the captain starts to trick them by making this a soup from a single thorn of a cactus plant. And the people are like, wow, how is he going to do this? And he goes, well, if only I had a little bit of garlic. Oh, I got a little bit of garlic. And so he tricks them to bring it in. They have the big party, but it changes the town's opinion of the soldiers and makes it ends on a little bit better ending than you would.
Yeah.
They would have thought it.
I think it's kind of an old folktale, right?
It is.
And so it's one of those ones that's translated into different cultures, and this is just one of the versions that's Mexican.
Cactus soup. Dia de los Muertos, kind of a kid's book talking about the celebration of Dia de los Muertos. So not really a story in so much as really just talking about all the various pieces of the holiday, all the various elements, mixing in the Spanish names for everything. And so if you go to like a Mexican food store or something like that, you can actually ask for what you're looking for the right things and the right words and stuff. So just a fun little book that has really nice artwork and just telling you about the holiday.
If you want to dig more into it, I think this is a really good option. Yep. We do have one of the, I want to say this is from, maybe from Torchlight. Show the cover.
Oh, what do you celebrate?
What do you celebrate? So this is about holidays around the world, and it's throughout the year. So this is a great spread on Dia de los Muertos. If you're not going to do too much on Mexico, this is probably fine. If you plan to really dive in and do more, then I would grab a book like this to kind of supplement.
Yeah, because this talks about about a dozen different holidays. So you just get the one-page spread for each holiday.
This is a great book for that purpose. But if you want to do more, especially if you're going to decide to time this around Halloween, which I know it's a year from now, but highly recommend because it's a very cool way to do it. Then you would probably want to pair this with something else, but this gives a great overview. And we have
another one. Follow Me Around Mexico. Again, the kind of country biography, walking around the town through the eyes of a child book that we always love.
Right. So there's, the living in ... Mexico or whatever it is. And that's going to be that's a learn to read book, and that's going to skew much younger. These Follow Me Around books are going to be more mid-elementary age. So our older daughter really appreciated this. I think last time when we got this, when she was just a newly first grader.
It was too much for her.
This was too much for her, and this is too much for our kindergartner. But our third grader really liked it because it's just the day in the life of a child who lives in that country, and all about their...
She's more sophisticated. She can handle the deeper information.
Right.
Something that might be a little bit more boring for a kindergartner, she's a little bit more interested in. Yeah. It's just that, getting older, being more mature, they can handle different levels. And this is definitely, if you're trying to bring up maybe I would say, even like a late first grader, second grader
I would go older. I think this is a great third and up book. Personally, I think the living in books are great for your K for second, unless you're kind of advanced reader.
This would be a stretch book for those younger grades. So
yeah, I think these are really great though. Anytime we can connect for our kids with the lives of kids in that country, it really goes a long way to help them understand, the culture and some of the significant things.
So we brought up the Letters from Afar, I think last week or the week before. We dug out our one from Oaxaca, Mexico.
These are so pretty.
So beautiful, nice little fun little letter. Just went ahead and read that to them. This was kind of the start of the week.
It's a great way to introduce things.
Read this to them, and then they went ahead and did the painting, the artwork around the world. My youngest is slowly filling in the giant map that we brought up at the beginning of this. I think when we did some of the intro episodes, we said, hey, we're going to do this.
It's like a table-sized map
of the world that she can color in. And then I went ahead and read this while she was doing that. So fairly straightforward, fairly simple, but we wanted to make sure we brought that up.
I think these are just these are just a really great way to kind of spark their curiosity just because of the great artwork. So we really love Letters from Afar. And if you collect stamps, even better because they do come with a couple of stamps in each book.
Dia de los Muertos, Halloween. I went ahead and got some Halloween masks, and making them. Hello, how are you? Just very simple little things. Cost you like $1 or $2. It was a fun little activity. Followed it up with a little bit of a good old Canon printer artwork here and here. So just trying to engage with the kind of the cultural styles. These type of blocky, round, floral styles. We're kind of filtered through a lot of these books, so it's the same art styles that they were seeing. I think it was really cool.
Because we were pretty busy. We didn't do a lot of art this time because we did a lot of experiences. Like we really leaned heavily into that.
So let's lean into the biggest one. We went ahead and went down to Redmond to the Cultural Mexican Center had a Dia de los Muertos event. It was on the little shopping plaza. God, they had dancers. They had music.
They had tamales. And they had pan de muertos, which is a bread covered in
the whole street.
Cinnamon.
It was filled. There was like maybe a couple hundred people there, and they're all walking. They had an ofrenda.
They did. So they had an ofrenda. So we watched Coco with our kids first. If you haven't seen Coco yet,
what are you doing? What's wrong with you?
Pack some tissues.
Mama Coco.
Yes, we watched Coco for the 4th or 5th time in our family. We love that movie. And then we knew that they were going to have a community altar, an ofrenda there where they had pictures of loved ones and candles, right? Because they believe that the spirit of their loved ones come back, especially if you put them on the ofrenda. So we went to the festival and we brought a picture. Their great-grandmother passed last year, and so we printed a picture of their great-grandmother and brought it with us and put it on the community altar. So it was very impactful. Our oldest daughter and I had a few tears placing it there, but it was really special because amidst the dancing and the food and all the frivolity, inside the center where they had the ofrenda was very quiet and everything was just candles and everyone was quiet, remembering their loved ones. It was a really special experience for us. So that's why I highly recommend that you try to study this around Dia de los Muertos and this was just a local community event. This wasn't even in like Seattle. There was there were several large ones. This was even a smaller one. The food was amazing. The dancers, everyone was, I kind of felt like I didn't know if we were going to be intruding upon this special cultural occasion for them.
Oh, we were welcomed in. It was fun.
Everyone was so generous and loving and welcoming our girls and teaching them Spanish words. And they got these, they got these like goodie bags from the Centro Cultural Mexicano.
And they had like little toys in there, and they even had like activity books and things
too.
And
our kids have been filling out these activity books. There's all kinds of cultural information inside, and it's just got like word searches and coloring, and
really cool.
It was the best experience. It was like a rainy Friday night, and we're like, I don't know, it's gonna be too rainy. It was a party.
It was.
And there was...
You could hear, like, we were a couple of blocks away.
We could hear it, yeah.
We're like, oh, I think we're going in the right direction.
It was great. There was people dancing, and even
full band
our girls started dancing at the end. It was really cool. Just lots of people celebrating together. It was a wonderful event. I'm so thankful we went. So that was the big highlight.
That was the big cultural thing, and then we had a challenge. We said we're going to eat Mexican food every day
for 2 weeks.
For 2 straight weeks.
And you know what? We did it.
I did it.
We did it.
We all did it.
We did it as a family. We made it. It's not hard. We love Mexican food.
We really did
so much. So
it was not. You did not have to strain.
It wasn't hard. And our girls were like, "Yeah, we're on it, Mom and Dad. Let's do this." They were all up for the challenge. We ate tamales. We had chorizo. We made tostadas and tacos and burritos.
We hit all the little stores in our town. It was great.
We're very fortunate that our town has a few different cool things. Nearby, we've got a Mexican grocery store, which is a really fun experience. We have we went to a taco truck one day for lunch.
We got to try paletas. We didn't know where to find them, and they had them right there. We're like, let's buy them. Let's get a few.
We tried those. We tried some other baked goods. We went to a taco truck. We tried Mexican hot chocolate, which was wonderful, and just great burritos. And we went to a Mexican snack shack. We tried like 3 different flavors of churros that were all delicious. And so
like the fruity fruity drink that was like strawberries and like
Yeah, I don't
it
know
was
what
almost
it's
like a
called.
soy milk or some milk in
Is
it.
that an aqua fresca?
They called it a fruta. I don't know what it is. It
We're
was really,
mispronouncing
it was really good.
It was delicious.
It was funny because they were all in the jugs and they had a bunch of ice in it. And she was like, well, she was kind of motioning like, which one do you want? I was like, girls, strawberry, strawberry. Let's get the strawberry.
We had
one.
to practice our Spanish a little bit with a couple of these locations, but
cool.
yeah, going to these different like snack stores and then the Mexican grocery store, we really ate like kings.
Yeah.
We had it was a delicious 2 weeks.
We were even trying the stuff at Costco. Costco now sells bags of tamales, and so we've been eating on those.
Good.
It's been great, yeah.
It was great. We tried, we hadn't really eaten tostadas at home before, so we tried making those. We made homemade refried beans in the Instant Pot, which is
from our Claudia.
Yes. Okay.
Cooking
So
con Claudia.
yeah, if you haven't watched Cooking con Claudia on YouTube,
We watch her all the time.
We'll link it down
Put it down
below.
below. I'll put the refried bean down below.
You're welcome.
She makes it in an Instant Pot. And we make vast amounts of it. And
we make so many refried beans.
We put it in containers and freeze it. They're awesome.
It's great. I mean, she makes so many. We as a family just watch her cooking videos for fun because she's lovely and she's just a totally self-made person. It's so fun.
And her videos are like the perfect length. They're all like 4 or 5 minutes
they're
long.
super good.
It's not long cooking videos.
So yeah, we made homemade refried beans and I had the taco truck. What else did we have? We had some other things that were different that we don't usually have. I can't even think. We had Mexican at home or out every day.
Every day.
And it was wonderful.
It was.
So
It was.
I feel like we lived it up these 2 weeks.
This was one of those like if people
This is a highlight.
People are following along. They go, oh, last couple weeks, this one looks like wow, they did a lot. Like this was one that we were really excited about.
We were excited.
Again, it was because of the way you organized it and loaded up the holiday right in the middle of the study. I think it was just like the perfect thing to do and really embrace that because I think it was really that. It was kind of the capstone of the whole.
Yeah.
Of the whole 2 weeks, and we were just really enjoyed it, loved it, had great experiences, great food. It was very memorable. We did some reading, but I think it was really like seeking out the food and seeking out the people and seeking out the culture. I think had like kind of that gem of the whole 2 weeks. So,
right, and I think that if you're used to going to Mexican restaurants and kind of always order the same thing,
try something different.
Yeah, trying something new I think would be great. If you don't have a Dia de los Muertos festival or you don't want to do it at that time of year.
It was good too because we tried different things and our youngest tried them. Like she tried the tamales, she tried the different foods, and she was all about it. And it's like, all right, yeah, this is good.
We have other options. So it was cool because we had to eat so many days. We really did try things that, maybe we've had before. After we tried chili rellenos and a few things. Our younger daughter tried chorizo. She'd never tried that. So there was some new food exploration.
That's great.
I think you had something with mole one day too. Anyway, we had lots of really good stuff. So enjoy.
I bought the one of everything tamale. She goes, which one do you want? I go, what do you have? And she listed 5 of them. I said, I'll take one of each.
Right. So we had like a tamale sampler one night.
There was a spicy one too.
There was a pork one. We had all kinds of different things. We had a whole selection of different street tacos one time. They all were different meats inside that we tried. And
girls all tried it and some.
Yeah, we just shared everything. It was great. So yes, sample, try, get outside your comfort zone. Mexico is a beautiful culture and wonderfully delicious.
Our neighboring country. So we are going on to study the North American native peoples, and I think we're going to focus more here on the Pacific Northwest area. And I think that would be probably best if you're going to study native peoples because we're it's such a vast difference between
study them in your local area,
your location, especially in North America. Find the local because you're going to find those cultural centers in your area. You're going to see the artwork. You're going to see the the people. I think that's the best way to go, and I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll be back in another week or so and studying Native American people in North America.